What is up, everybody? Happy Friday Eve. Welcome to episode 21 of the Assets Over Money podcast. Kev, bro, how you doing today, man? You got the hat flipped backwards, so I know you mean business.
Hey, bro, it's business every day, man. I'm blessed, man. Glad to be here. Woke up this morning.
Yeah.
Hey, ain't pushing up no daisies. I'm doing all right.
Yeah, man. It looks like you got a different background this morning. You tuning in from a different place?
Yeah, man. Hey, my signal was bad at my usual spot, yo, and had to kind of make some adjustments.
Yeah. Dang, I know you got money. You need to go ahead and drop some money on that Starlink. You know what I mean?
Hey, man. Hey, I try to invest in the right things, man.
Yeah, man. But nah, man, I don't want to hold us up. We got a special guest with us today, my guy Conner. And really, before I bring him up, I wanted to just talk a little bit about Conner, some of the things that he's done. And just so y'all know, he is 22 years old. And as I'm reading through some of this stuff, and as he starts talking, y'all gonna be blown away. So literally no excuses for anything that you want to accomplish. But jumping into it, tonight's guest is someone who has turned a painful problem into a powerful solution. Conner Rueca is the co-founder and CEO of Closer Control CRM. It's a system built by wholesalers for wholesalers. So after losing around 8 deals in 1 month due to follow-up issues and scattered systems, Conner decided enough was enough and built a CRM that could truly support real estate investors on the front lines. So out there on the front lines. With a background in wholesaling, operations, and team building, Conner understands what it takes to grow and scale in this game. He helped countless investors regain control of their pipeline, myself included. I am a avid Closer Control, fan, I would say. Close more deals and create more freedom by putting the right systems in place. So without further ado, I want to bring my guy Conner on the stage. Conner, man, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Nice to see you guys all. Appreciate you guys all for joining and having me on, Richard and Kevin. I want to have a great conversation, man. This is like I think it's my number 9 meeting of the day. And I am finalizing it after this. So I'm excited. This is going to be a good talk. Excited for the questions.
Hey, you know, they say last one, best one, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait, Conner, whoa, you just graduated college, didn't you?
Yes.
Was that Monday?
That was yesterday.
Yesterday.
Oh, no, that was Tuesday. Forgive me.
Tuesday. Man, just graduated college.
Congrats.
Congratulations, bro. CEO of a company, built your own company, doing it yourself, man. Really, I want to dive in too much, but I really want to give you more time to talk, man. I guess really tell us about you, man. How did you get to being an entrepreneur at literally 22 years old, man?
Very good question. I believe it started super early. God truly blessed me with just like amazing friends. And when I say amazing friends, not only are they great guys and who love to explore and do fun stuff and be rowdy and be confident within, other groups, but their parents were small business people and they were successful small business people. So they could bring us young, their kids and their friends over to, spend time at their house. And, I was able to experience things that I couldn't experience at home. Right. So like, waterfront properties, go on a boat, we're in the lagoon, nice cars, go to a big arcade, like the biggest arcade in the county, and work there and see that whole operation go down, all the way to like even wholesaling cars. So like I was helping wholesaling cars with one of my buddies when I was like 16. So like it really began with the people that I had around me. And I think that's why it's important for, your tribe is the biggest thing when you're coming up and growing and learning the things, learning what you need to know about life. It's going to be based on your tribe and what you talk about.
Right. And I know you got a whole family as well too that are also entrepreneurs, man. So how many other brothers you have and what all do they do?
Yeah. So there's 4 brothers other than me. So there's 5 of us total. And we're just straight operators and entrepreneurs. 4 of them, they run the wholesaling business.
Yeah.
I started the wholesaling business around 3.5-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Early last year, stepped out, just because like 5 Ruecas or 5 even, like imagine 5 Richards or 5 Kevins in a real estate business. It does not make sense. 2 people are literally doing the transaction coordination. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So we got to the point where it was like that, and I was like, okay, executive decision, Conner, as CEO, because I was a freak when it came to micromanagement, and that is like one of the biggest faults that you can do as a leader. And it was poison to the company. And so we made an executive decision as a family, like, Conner, step out, find a vertical, right? A business that you could do that supplements the same clientele, or, in some way is still connected to wholesaling. And they're like, we're going to run this up to 7 figures. So they did. And I took a step aside and started a CRM business, software business for our business first, right? Richard, you said like we lost deals. Yeah, there was a moment in our business where we lost 8 deals in a span of like 40 days. And when I say lost deals, I mean these deals, we called them and the deal was closed, like not under contract. Like this house got wholesaled and a buyer bought it and renovation was beginning. And it was just because of that follow-up system. It just wasn't there. So I built a CRM business, did it for applied it into Capable House Buyers, which was our company. And then I was just like, dude, if it's going to do this for my company, it's really going to secure that follow-up and like automate so many things that humans can make mistakes on. I'm just going to go out and sell this to a bunch of other people. And like we're selling CRMs for like 4 to 6K right now. So like it's been really good. And that's what we're doing right now. So we're all entrepreneurs, 19, 22, 24, 26, 29. So we're technically all in our 20s, and we understand like what we're doing right now, it's just a playground for us right now because we're super young. Like we're competing against 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds. So we're not taking any of this. We're taking it lightly in terms of like we're trying super hard, but we understand like we just need to fail quick. And then that's what's going to like project us forward into new opportunities, new ventures.
Yeah, man, that's freaking awesome. I got 2 more things I want to actually ask about before I turn it over to Kevin. But that's freaking awesome, man. Keeping it all in the family. You guys all working together, all young, entrepreneurial. So really, I mean, shout out to your parents, man. I need to, the real Ruecas, right? The OGs who started that and put you guys on the right path, kept you guys around in those circles to, I guess, get around it. And then it's contagious, man. So you see it, you like it, you want it, and you do it. And a lot of people, that sounds simple, but not a lot of people follow that same track. There's usually something that gets lost in translation in there. So with the CRM, really 2 points. I know you had started it, I want to say right around a year and some change ago, maybe a little bit longer. Please clarify that for me. Where were you guys at? Where are you guys currently? And I guess what did you feel was really missing from other CRMs that made you go and build your own? And that way it's contributed to you guys succeeding so quickly.
Where can I begin this? So when like the idea of building the CRM began, that was the moment when like all of us brothers were starting to be like full-time in the business. So ever since day one, like 3.5, 4 years ago, I was full-time. And then slowly throughout like the 6 years, no, not 6 years, the years, within like a span of like 4 to 6 months, each brother just started to come in like, Conner, like I'm doing business with you. Like let me join the business. Let me join the business. Everyone was pretty much finishing school. So I'm the second youngest, and the only one that's in school right now is my younger brother. He's doing like some online schooling, but essentially everyone was finishing college and they're like, all right, like we're either going to go get a job or work with you, Conner. And at that point, I already had made 6 figures from 2 deals. Like crazy, right? Like in California, it's actually pretty standard. Like deals you make more money on deals in California. But I made 2 deals in my first, I did 2 deals in my first 7 months wholesaling and made 6 figures. Awesome. So that was just a massive breakthrough for all my brothers, because when you get out of college, you're shooting for a 6-figure job right away. But if you're in California, you're not making 6 figures. You're making like 50, 60K if you're making 100K, right? So it was just massive breakthrough. So over time, all the brothers started to come in, and it was around a year and like 6 to 8 months ago when all the brothers finally came into the system, and we were using another CRM, another Go High Level white label. And because all of us were in there and we had other salespeople, right? We built our business off virtual assistants. We had tons of salespeople in the CRM, and there was just tons of human error.
Yeah.
In addition, there was just tons of things that were falling through the cracks. And like I said, 8 deals fell through the cracks, 8 closed deals. And what we notice is the reason why this is happening is because, one, there's not a concrete sales process, like a panel box where like it opens up and then like you can see each stage of the acquisition sales process for sellers. So there wasn't that. And two, there wasn't campaigns for any of them. There
Yeah.
was just a pipeline. Like you just drag things throughout the pipeline. Little did we know we had 2,000 seller leads. Imagine dragging 2,000 seller leads through pipelines and you drag it to one and it drops to the bottom where there's like 400.
Yeah.
Right. It was just like disorganized. And in that CRM, I ended up building that panel box. And I also built all the campaigns inside of it. So I took the other person's CRM from 50% to 80%, and we were operating out of it. Right. And it was okay. And I was just like, we were going through that thing where it was like, Conner, like you're being micromanaged. You know what I mean? You're being an asshole. Forgive my language. So we made that decision that I was talking about a couple minutes ago. And then I just started building exactly what our company needed to scale. And we had the right resources because we had the salespeople, right? If you're trying to build a CRM and you never led a sales team or an actual sales process, it's actually hard to build, right? Because all these go high level white labels, they're not all built the same. They're built based on the brain of the operator, right? So if you put 10 different go high levels together back to back, they're all going to actually look way different. There might be a workflow that does the exact same thing, but they're all going to have different ways that they're built with different stages and different steps, and different like conditions where like it trees out into different options. And I just like, I'm not super integrator mindset, but I used to play this game when I was little, when I was probably like 8 to 10 years old. Do you guys remember that car game? It was called Rush Hour, and it was like a little puzzle game, and you can only move cars front and back, and you're trying to get like a car in the corner to get out of like the whole puzzle. Did you guys ever play that?
Nah.
Probably not.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's like a board game, and I used to just play that all the time, and I guess it just like made me like think analytically. So when I was building out the CRM, it was just extremely easy because I knew what I needed, and I knew how to run a sales team, and I knew how to get rid of human error, and then I also knew how to follow up. The other thing about CRMs right now is they might have follow-up, but their follow-up text messages, I was just talking about this in our Zoom earlier. Their follow-up text messages are like, hey, haven't gotten a hold of you. I'm still looking to make an offer for 123 Banana Street. When can we jump on a call? Right? So it's like a really big text message, and they're probably sending that kind of text message, that parallel message, like back to back to back, right? For us, our follow-up text message is question mark, right? Ours has it says nothing about the house. It says nothing about an offer, right? Ours is like generic messages meant for them to click on the message and see scroll up and see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And the reason why that works better is because I'm a salesperson.
Yeah.
And I know actually how to talk to people.
You know, that's called that's called a pattern interrupt is what that's called. Yes. You do it on the intro call. You can do it in follow, things like that, man. So that's sales psychology, man. We talk about Jedi mind tricks, bro. The sales stuff, bro. Sales psychology is freaking wild. I freaking love that stuff. So hearing you, I was like, oh man, that's awesome. That's freaking awesome. And I have a lot more questions I want to ask, but Kev, I know you got some. I saw you stirring up, and I saw your serious face, man. What you got?
And Conner, so I mean, 22, you just graduated from college, man. What did you major in?
Business.
So of course, so like, you took that to the CRM, real estate? Now, you said you had 4 brothers, or is it just 4 of you guys? You got 4 other brothers?
4 other brothers.
You got a pretty big family, and all you guys do real estate together.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's amazing, yo. So like, you're the CRM guy, you're the sales guy. What are the other positions that's in your company with your brothers? Your other brothers, Tell me their positions and what they do.
I love that question. Thank you for asking. I love talking about my brothers. So there's one younger me. There's three older than me, right? The way that we structured the business is based on each other's superpowers, right? I'm an extreme driver, right? I'm driver analytical, but some of my brothers, they're more expressive analytical or expressive driver. So we're all like we're all different. It's pretty funny. And it works out that I was like the leader of the company and still leader of the family because I have that personality. But these guys are just way better at other things than me, like managing teams and coaching and making sure that the things are just working the way it needs to work. Other than me, who likes to hustle. So
Right.
these guys, when they joined the business, we were just working as sales. I just had them working as salespeople, be able to just talk to sellers and talk to buyers, because at the end of the day, that is like the hardest thing to do, in my opinion, right? And we have no sales experience.
Gotcha.
Like, I was running like a super small business like when I was like in high school, and I'm sure you guys can kind of like think of what that was, if you know what I mean. But I was running those, but that's not sales. I'm just getting a text message and I'm coming and helping someone out, right? So I didn't really have sales experience. So I knew, I was like, when they jump in, they need to be talking to as many people as much as possible. So they went through that whole journey, but now they're all leaders in the company in their own divisions. So like Alec, who is the brother above me, he was the second to join the business after me. Um, he's CEO of the real estate company. And but he's like hardly even making decisions really. He's kind of just like thinking big picture, going out and learning, being the guy going out and grabbing information and being visionary for the company, right? And the reason he has the blessing to do that, because most CEOs still have to take sales calls and stuff like that. But the reason why he doesn't have to do that anymore is because my other brothers, right, Grant and Anthony, they run a whole dispo operation, right? And it's not just like dispo from our deals. We made a goal this year that 40% of our deal flow, or 40%, actually no, it's 40% of our revenue comes from JV. So these guys, Grant and Anthony, who are the oldest in the family, they're running like a separate dispo company. They're still doing our deals, but they're reaching out to my clients, like Closer Control clients, and they're reaching out to the market and the different mentorships that we're part of and grabbing their own deals. So like, they're like their own operation within themselves. And then my youngest brother, who runs pretty much the marketing and the acquisitions, and talking to sellers, he's pretty much running his own division on the acquisition side. So like everyone is like running their own space, and we all have like our own lanes, and it just works out because they're still early in their business career, right? And I'm still extremely early in my business career. I just started selling software 9 months ago, and I never sold the software ever, right? So we're super early in our business careers, and we still see it as like playground play, but get scratched up, get hurt as many times as possible, break your arm, twist your ankle as much as possible right now. And it's funny because like we used to do these team meetings where we would like talk about what we're doing in the business, and I'm like, dude, we're like wasting an hour and a half of our time twice a week just talking about what we're doing in our business. Who cares what we're doing in our business? What is our goals? Like, what's the vision? Like, what are we actually shooting for? What are the tangible items that we want to own, individually by the end of this year? Right. We started to like think more bigger picture last couple months, and it's just like everyone is just growing so quickly, and I'm grateful to God.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's good stuff right there, man. I mean, we always on this channel, man, we always preach, chemistry over talent, man. And what I'm saying, you have chemistry with your brothers, man. That's like amazing. That's fantastic, because if you can keep it in the family, why not? You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, like, man, like that, I don't see many families. Do you guys have big rifts or what? Like, I know brothers fight sometimes or talk trash to each other to kind of keep each other in line. Who's the biggest trash talker out of the bunch?
I would have to say, just be completely honest, it would probably be me. I'm definitely the biggest trash talker. I definitely consider myself and label myself the bad guy of the brothers.
Yeah.
Just keeping everyone in check. But the reason why we're so close, it's a really interesting story. Um, when our parents, so we grew up, family, big house, everything. Parents ended up divorcing, and house got sold, and we ended up moving into just smaller living spaces on both sides of the family. Right? My mom would be moving from like house to house, like maybe every like 6 to 8 months. And this is like while we're in middle school and high school, all the way up until today, right? Today, she's in an apartment that she's been in like 2.5 years, 2, 3, 4 years. Actually, I don't even know. I'm gonna just say 3 years. That's like the only time she's been like in a specific place for a very long time in the past 12 years,
Yeah.
right? Um, we never had a room in our mom's house.
Mm.
So if we were at mom's house, we were in the living room on blow up beds and mattresses,
Yeah.
right? So that means if we're at mom's house, all 4 or 5 of us, whoever's sleeping over, we're in close quarters,
Right.
right? I hear my brother talking to his girlfriend with his baby voice. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we're super close. In addition, we're sharing bathrooms,
Right.
right? At our dad's house, we ended up moving into a smaller house. I shared a room with a stepbrother, and then 4 of them shared a room themselves.
Mm.
Right? I only shared a room with the stepbrother because I was his age,
Right.
right? So they started to get closer through those 4 years together, and I was just like, I was still close to them, but I'm like in middle school, I'm hanging out with friends. But we end up moving to an apartment that's even smaller than this house. And guys, get this, like this is a fabulous neighborhood, fabulous city, like wealthy people. My dad is rich, like he makes well over 6 figures every single year, has a great job. But we're all there was no woman in the house after my mom was out, right? So it's like a guy's house. Like my dad's like, come on, you don't care, just we're gonna be in this apartment for 2 years. And I'm like, really, Dad? We've been in this apartment for 8 years. He's still in the apartment. And let me tell you about this apartment. This apartment's a 2-bed apartment. Um, my dad took the small room. He gave all of us brothers the master room. Now, the master room's probably I don't know if I know like the dimensions, but it's pretty big. I would say it's like 2 bedrooms together, and then there's like a nice closet area. So there's space for us, but there's not 4 beds side by side. It's a bunk bed this way and a bunk bed this way, right? And this is like IKEA bunk beds. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you guys, like these are not fancy bunks.
Flimsy. Them flimsy joints.
Exactly. And we're in that room because like there's not much space to go other than living room or room, right? There's dining room, don't it's not even dining room. There's a big table in that dining room. You can't just hang out there, right? So you're either in the living room or the room, and we're in this house, like I said, for like 8 years. Growing up from, I would say, when I was in 7th or 8th grade all the way till today. But we don't live with our dad anymore. But all the way up until we graduated high school, we were in those close quarters. Like I said, there was a time when I tell this story, we all had our girlfriends over, 8 people within like a 5 by 10 area, 5 by 10 feet area. It's fun, but we're all super close, and that's why we don't really fight. We don't really got issues. It's because like we lived together in close quarters all of our like young adulthood.
Yeah.
So like I the reason why we can grind together and have hard months together and no one breaks and we stay strong and we're comfortable with going into the mud and the rain, as long as we got each other, is because like it's not just our mindset. We've been in proximity to each other for a very, very long time,
Yeah.
and not many people go through that. So that's why it's like you don't see it that much.
Nah, man, that's super inspiring, man. So, like, but with that being said, I know you said your dad had a good job. what made you come to the real estate side, right? I mean, like, how did you guys start learning about, investing in real estate and, doing wholesaling? Where did that come from, and how did it spread amongst your brothers?
This is great to talk about. I just got closed, bro. Like I got like some salesperson called me and closed me on a mentorship. But in like I wanted to start a business, right? I was doing my little side hustle. Fast money comes in, fast money leaves quicker, right? And I was like, what type of business should I run? And had I known about like SMMA and these marketing agencies, I would 100% want a marketing agency. But I found wholesaling, and I found it by just like watching someone on TikTok, like talk to sellers. And he was like 18 himself. Right. And I was like, what the heck? Like, he's talking with sellers. Is he buying houses? So I didn't understand it. So we went to a trip in the Philippines, and I was by myself for literally a week because everyone had COVID but me. So I'm like by myself, like downstairs and where there's Wi-Fi, and this is like a big house. So I'm not even seeing them, and it's supposed to be like a trip out there where we have fun and be out in the sun, paradise, whatever. But I'm just like searching on my phone. I'm watching this kid, and I'm like, once I get home, I'm gonna just figure this out. I'm gonna try to start a wholesaling business. Get home. First thing I do when I get home is I search out what is wholesaling, and I didn't know what a funnel is, guys. Like I didn't understand like online business and digital marketing. So I enter my information into a funnel, and with these coaching programs, like I've been even doing it now just to because I'm like trying to like understand people's funnels more. People usually don't call you right away when you enter a funnel, right? But I entered my information for like a free script, and then like 5 minutes later, some gentleman called me and was like, "Hey, what's up? Like, Conner Rueca here." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up? Who is this?" And it was a person from that company, and that company was TTP, right? Brent Daniels, Talk to People, Wholesaling Inc. He's out there in Arizona.
Yeah.
What's funny is this person that called me, his name is Ryan Thornton. He's the real estate acquisition closer for Brent Daniels' real estate business. He shouldn't be calling leads. He shouldn't be calling someone that just puts in their information on a for a free script, right? His time is worth way more. Like they already had a big business, and the reason I say that is because I seen him last December, and he goes, "Conner, I hope you know that was the only call for student leads I've ever made for Brent Daniels, and I don't even know why I made that call." And he closed me on that call. So like it's like I really believe God and Jesus moved within those rooms and within those conversations, because like I said, he literally said, "Conner, I don't even think about their student business. I don't even think about it. Like I'm one of the coaches, but I don't call leads to close them on 6K package or whatever it is." So when he told me that last December, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is like a lot bigger than I think. Like I'm supposed to be here."
Right.
But essentially, called. He told me the price. He's like, "Dude, Brent Daniels is the Michael Jordan of coaching," and I believed him. And he is right. He's an amazing coach. He got me to here today, along with other mentors. But I ended up calling my dad. I was like, "Hey, I need to talk to my dad," because I had 8K in the bank. The program's 6K. So like I'm spending everything, putting myself against the wall. I just finished my first year in college. So I'm moving into a house. So I'm going to pay my own rent, going to pay for my own food. And I called my dad. I'm like, "Dad, like this thing came up. Like, I run a small business. I make money. Like I can do this. I can win. I can get a deal in wholesaling." And he's like, "Conner, what even is wholesaling?" Well, it's like, you get like a contract of this property, and then like you sell the contract. Like I butchered. I didn't even know what wholesaling was. That's why I was searching up how do you wholesale to get a script. I didn't even know what it was. And my dad was like, "Conner, come on. I believe you can do it. I'll even pay for it, but I want you to get a deal from YouTube first. Right? Just go on YouTube University, you learn it there. It's all there. Get a deal." And I was pretty bummed out because I'm like, "Dad, you should just back me up. Like, I'm serious. You know, I've been doing little things here and there. I'm smart. And I ended the phone and I called back Ryan. I'm like, Ryan, I'm going to do it. How do we get started? So I just totally disregarded what my dad had told me. I didn't even tell him that I bought into the mentorship until I got my first 2 deals 7 months later. And my mom, I didn't even tell my mom that I was part of a mentorship. I wanted to come back and like have that like glory feeling of like, you know, my dad said X, Y, and Z, and I just did it anyways, and I made it work. So it was a good feeling when I like got paid and I was able to show them my wins. But I just took a chance on myself. I was like, I'm not. It's only 6K. I'm not gonna stop until I make at least until I break even.
Right.
Right? How can I not break even? You know what I mean? Like, I'm such a go-getter. I have confidence. I have 4 brothers behind me. They're not part of the business, but they trust me and they can back me up. I have great friends. I've been around small business people. How can I not make 6K? That's why I think like when it comes to coaching or if it even comes to sales, it's like, dude, if you know it helps the person, freaking close them, right? Especially if you're so confident that it's going to get them results, close them because you will change their life as long as you fulfill on your word,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like such like a big like, dude, like just take the chance on yourself. It's just 6K or it's just 2K, it's just 1K. You can make a deal back,
Right.
right? So that's kind of like the story of like just getting closed. And then from there on out, like I was in school, but I stopped going to school, right? Like I just grinded every single day and just kept taking as many calls as possible with as many people as possible. And God gives you God gives you what you ask for as long as you put in the work.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's so. Tell me, how did your brothers get involved? Like, how did you pass that information to them, or did they learn on their own? How did it get, the family business that you
Mhm.
right now? How did it become that? Like, from you going from wholesaling to now, like, tell me a little bit about that.
Oh man. Um, I have this issue where I f- I want to train you same way that I got trained, right? And that's a big problem because, like I said, not everyone's the same, right? I'm a driver. Like when I listen to people on social media and I have mentors, the people I look up to are the people that are yelling at me. And I don't know if that's because like my parents did that when I was younger, but like if you're talking to me extremely soft and you're talking about emotions and mindset, like I can't resonate with you, bro. Like you need to tell me like, hey, do this and that. This is the roadmap. If you get there, this is what you're gonna get. Like I need those type of mentors, right? So I was able I was just blessed with those kind of people in my life as I was growing my real estate business, with like coaching courses and videos. So how they got in is I put them in that same incubator. I'm sure I could have done it a way better way. But once they went through like that, watching all the videos, asking each other questions, talking about it, I just threw them into like the fire, right? My brother Alec, like when he jumped on, so 7 months later after I started, we were at his college graduation, his undergrad graduation in Colorado Boulder. I had just got 2 emails that 2 deals closed, which was 6 figures. And I brought it to Alec. I said, Alec, look what I've been doing. He already landed a sales job at a software company in the Bay Area. Um, and I was like, Alec, you're gonna probably go get your job, but I think you should join me. And he was like, okay, let me work part-time. Let me go do like the sales training, whatever. And then I'll work part-time with you. And when he was like, Connor, like, are you going to train me? And I'm like, dude, you are learning sales from a tech company. Just use whatever you learn there and talk to freaking sellers and buyers.
Right.
And I'm not proud of this, but I still do it today because I want them to learn that way. Is like when he used to come to me and ask questions, I would say, I don't know,
Mm.
when I 100% knew what to say.
Mm.
But like, I wasn't like, closed mindset. We're like, oh, if we don't get this deal, like, our world's gonna end. I was like, dude, I'm okay with you failing. Like, I don't know. Just go figure it out. So he like figured out underwriting himself. He figured out how to sell deals himself, like the whole 9 yards. And thankfully it worked out, because sometimes it just doesn't work out when you do that stuff. But throughout all the brothers, like, we kind of just kept replicating that model, and it worked. So like I said, like, they just, like, every time we got little big wins, more brothers would jump on, until like a year and 6 to 8 months ago, when like everyone finally jumped on and was acclimated to the system and like running full time. But like I think it was just like, dude, why are you not working with us? Like, what, you're gonna go get a job and like be disappointed in your days because you've been sitting in front of Excel sheets the whole time? Like, bro, well, let's all live in the same house. Like, I'm trying to listen right now. Like, I think I hear some talking upstairs, but they're upstairs taking sales calls right now. I can hear them most of the time, and they can hear me probably talking on this podcast right now. But like, the whole thing is like, dude, why don't we just live together? We've been living together this whole time. Why don't we just grow this business together and just live under one roof? And they were like, yeah, why not? Like, it'd be dumb to go get a job. So we just we just kept going at it, and everyone jumped on, and now we're just like trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So fail forward is the motto.
Mm-hmm.
Go your way to success, man. I love that, yo. I mean, because, hey, I tell my daughter that even to this day, man. Like, schools program you to to try to be perfect and to try to not make mistakes. You know what I mean? And you get this mentality where, I can't fail. I can't, I got to be super perfect. And, nothing's perfect. You have to be able to fail to be able to understand and to learn. So, man, I commend you on that, bro. And, I'm glad you're here today, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. And yeah, I got a couple more questions for you as well, man. So I guess taking it back to the CRM piece, why, and just explain it to the crowd, right? I have an idea. Why is a good CRM so important? How does it help create, freedom, time, not just, efficiency for real estate investors?
There's many ways I can go at this. What I would say for anyone like on the fence about getting a CRM is, we all have the same 24 hours, right? The reason why Elon Musk, the reason why Zuckerberg, they can have such successful businesses is because they have the right systems, right? If you notice, the people with no systems are the ones that are hustling, and the ones that are kind of like they're just like a stickler for their work. Like, they're pretty much just working a high paying job, but the business is under their name. So like, we all have the same 24 hours. How do you essentially buy your time back? And that is going to be through a system. And when I say system, I'm talking like it could be a people system, right? It could be like, you have a specific person doing this job and this person doing this job for you, and you can kind of lead and make decisions for only this specific topic, right? Or it could actually be a software system that sends text messages automatically for you, so you don't have to take those 2-minute follow-up calls, right? You essentially fall to the ability of your systems.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, like, if you're on the fence about a CRM, if you don't make that decision, you're likely not going to build the business that you want, right? So the CRM is what it's going to do. It's going to do all the things that you don't want to do, right? When we're talking to the lead, you don't have to tag the lead. You don't have to start a campaign. You don't need to, text it manually anymore, right? All those little things that take up, like, you think it takes up 20 seconds of your day. You think it takes only 2 minutes of your day. But really, that stuff is not only taking up time, but it's taking up headspace.
Yeah.
Right. You're like thinking about that. You're like, oh, dude, at 2 p.m., I need to text this seller and say this exact same thing. And then you get to 2 p.m. and you're on like ChatGPT trying to figure out like the perfect text. Right. It's like, dude, you need to figure out where your time is best spent. How do you what tasks in your business are you making the most money? And I'm not just talking about sales. Like
Yeah.
you can be working on marketing and know that's making you the most money. You need to be in that hat more than any other hat, right? Because if you have no system, then you're wearing every single hat.
Right.
Right.
That's so true.
Yeah. So I kind of took that like a broad way. Like I didn't say like you would need a CRM, but like guys, we all have the same exact time. And the reason the people with the systems actually have the most time, but it's not like they're just sitting back and relaxing. No, the time that they've gained back, they're spending it on the things that they're really good at or the things that make the most money in the business.
Right. And that's essential, right? And here's a more, I guess, a deeper question, right? Within your CRM specifically, what are you seeing from some of your top performers, right, within the CRM that would attribute to their success? I know your CRM, right? It has all of the build outs and it has all the automations. You have AI integrations, things like that. The folks who are doing things at a higher level, right, who are cranking out deals, what are you seeing that they're doing inside the system to kind of make that happen?
I want to like the CRM is amazing, but them as operators is even as good, in my opinion. Right? The CRM is going to make sure that every lead is being talked to at once. You're never going to have a dead lead again. You're always going to know where this specific stage is. Well, actually, yeah, it's going to do all of that. But I even want to say the teams that are producing the most is they're doing exactly what I tell them to do. Right? Because I know the sauce. I built it and I used it and my brothers use it every single day.
Yeah.
Right? So I know how it needs to be used. It's the ones that listen to my directions and do exactly what I say and don't do anything more, don't do anything less, who produce the most. Right? And them as operators, just building sales teams, because like the people that are doing the most deals, like they have like 2-3 people on acquisitions and dispositions.
Yeah.
So being a sales team and leading them into also doing the same exact things that I tell them to do. Right? What's cool, and you've seen this, Rich, and I was talking to your guy. We have like SOPs right in front of your face in CRM. Like you can literally click a button and all your SOPs, which are standard operating procedures, just like how to pick an apple from an apple tree, right in front of you, so that if you needed a question or you need to figure out what to do, it's right there. So like our biggest thing is like the way you need to. Okay, so this is how I see it. If you don't listen to what I tell you what to do, you're not going to get the results I'm going to tell you you're going to get. Right? Like it's simple as that. Right? I feel like people just overcomplicate things, and maybe some CRMs just have too many bells and whistles for you to concentrate on one little thing. But the best CRMs are the ones you guys actually use, because my CRM might not be as good as another one, or it might be really good than another one, but that other one really, really focuses on you being trained and knowing how to use that system. That system will make you more deals than mine if I didn't train you.
Yeah.
So my mindset is like, look, I don't want to be the bad guy. You guys are literally putting money on my family's plate, on all of our partners' plate, on my mom's plate, on my dad's plate. You're putting money on our plate. I don't want to be the bad guy. I'm going to coach you exactly how you need to be coached, and you need to listen and do what I tell you need to do, and we all win. Right? Yeah. Because most people just leave CRMs because they just don't know how to use it. It's not because it's bad.
Bro, so true. Yeah, so true. And for all you folks out there who hear this guy talking about who this is 22-year-old, he's saying all this stuff, just listen to me. Where does he get off? Question just to kind of shut them folks out there, because we always got people going, hey, regardless. How much is Closer Control? And then how many clients roughly do you have? Just so people can kind of do their own math and be like, all right, this guy knows what he's talking about. If you don't mind sharing it, you know what I mean? Yeah,
of course. Yeah. So Closer Control, we like, if you want to join Closer Control, join the annual plan. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, which is like, I don't know, like $3,800. And then we have a monthly plan where it's just a setup fee, and then you pay a monthly If you do the monthly one, it's $300. There's a setup fee. You can figure it out yourself if you search up closercontrol.com. But we have 89 users right now. And we've been running the business, we've been building it, but we've only been marketing for the past 8.5 months. Like it's only been like we started marketing this business September 1st, right? So it's like we're still baby stages. We're still really early in the growth process, but like our fulfillment is probably as good as any other CRM software out there in the market because of the psychology that I have that I answered in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, bro. And just for y'all who are kind of on the fence, man. Like I use Closer Control, and me and Conner, we have no affiliation. I'm not getting any bonus points or getting paid to do any of this, but I'm not even joking when I say it's the best CRM that I've utilized. And I've been doing wholesale in in real estate the last like 5 years, and I've seen so many CRMs come and go, and this is probably one that I was like, damn, like this is freaking amazing. So you for those of you guys out there, at least check it out, man. If you're not at least checking it out, you're doing yourself a disservice. But wanted to say that. And then really, I guess the only other question I have, and I'll turn it over to Kevin as well too, man, for those out there, right? Because we're really about inspiration, man. You're 22 years old. We have, younger folks who are listening. What is a piece of advice that you would give somebody who is, 17, 18, just finishing up high school or just finishing up college, currently in college, that wants to take that next leap but hasn't yet for whatever reason? I'm gonna put you on the spot with that question, but yeah.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a moment. I want to drop a banger on this one.
You can tell you from California, bro. You drop a banger.
Drop the banger, dog.
Drop a banger.
What I would tell someone who's in that position is, oof. I was going to take it like a religious route, but I want to be fair to everyone that, believes in God. What I would say, honestly, right now is like, do it for those who can't. Right? There's tons and tons and tons of people who are just not in your position, who don't have the schooling you have, who don't have the opportunities you have, who don't live in the United States, who don't have like a amazing military, military services protecting your land, who don't have cars. Like there's so many people out there who just can't do what you can do. So you need to do it for them. Right. And you can take this as personal as, your parents who didn't get as far as you wish they wanted it. You wish they were, or your brothers who went a different route, or your siblings who went a different route, all the way up to like, your grandparents and your great grandparents and their grandparents, because they were living in a way different time than we had. Yeah. We have everything to succeed. Like there is truly equal opportunity everywhere in the United States, as long as you have Wi-Fi and a phone, right? So do it for those who can't, because if you don't, then I believe that you're sort of disrespecting God and the opportunities and the capabilities that He's given you. You're kind of just like saying, someone else can do it for me, or I'm not good enough, knowing, dude, you're made in the image of God. God is a creator. You are a creator yourself, right? So I would also say read the Bible.
Oh, freaking banger, bro. I love it, man. Kev, you got anything? Or we good, bro?
Man, dog. So Conner, man, with Closer Control, where can people find you, man? If someone wants to, say, hey, I need a CRM, I'm looking at some stuff right now, where can people find you?
Yes, I would. You can go into the link that Richard just put down, Closer Control. But I would love to just connect with you first, to see even if it's a right fit, if it's good for your business. So you could either hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. Facebook is just my name, Conner Rueca, and then Instagram is Capable Conner with an E. So yeah, just hit me up, and yeah, I'm not anything special, I promise you guys. Like I'm just a 22-year-old kid with brothers and we do business, and we don't take any days off.
I heard that, man. Nah, that's special, bro. You don't get that a lot, man. So hey, don't talk down to yourself, man, because you guys are growing. You're getting bigger, and that's what it's about, man. Growing and getting better, and pulling other people up, man. I mean, that's what we're all about this right here. What I got with Richard, and even with you right now, man. Like, the more we're able to come together, the bigger and better we can be. You know what I mean? We can scale a whole lot faster.
Heck yeah. Awesome. Well, shoot, man. Outside of that, brother Conner, thank you. It has been a freaking amazing, man. Thank you for plugging in. And guys, bro, this is awesome. Definitely hit him up. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. This is episode 21 of the Assets for Money podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
See ya.